and move it around. Okay. All right, so there's gonna be 3 parts to the lesson. You'll recognize all of them. We're gonna do about 10 minutes of DTS. Probably only 5 minutes of me telling you about an art element. And then you're gonna get a chance to do some drawing today. Okay? So nothing fancy, nothing messy. We're going to start with this image. So will you sit tight? Keep your hands to yourself. Will you look at this image with me? Take a quiet moment to look from top to bottom and side to side. No hands yet. Keep all your ideas in your brain for right now. And ask yourself, what's going on in this picture in your brain? Let's look at it. What's going on in this picture? Yes, sir.
I think going to the garden and those dogs, like they're look like they're not very nice and they're trying to hurt it because they don't want it to eat all their they don't want the deer to eat all their vegetables and stuff. And it looks like that guy over there blowing the horn is blowing it because he wants to
You got a lot going on there. Remind me your name. Cooper, that's right. So Cooper has us looking at what he's calling a garden. He calls this a garden. So the setting is a garden. And he's looking at all of the vegetables. Did you call these vegetables? And he's calling these things here dogs. He didn't name this, but he did say that the dogs, what do you think? Oh, that's a deer, okay. And the dogs are angry with the deer.
Because all that bare spot with only a little bit of grass isn't eating their plants.
Okay, so Cooper, tell me again about these things here that you're calling dogs. You said that they're very angry or they're not happy with the deer for eating the grass or the vegetables. What do you see about those things there that make you say that they're angry?
So like up here, like I can kind of see their teeth.
Okay.
Like, and I see like their eyebrows.
Okay.
They're kind of like mad shape.
Okay, great. Have a seat. Everybody, let's look at what Cooper just shared with us, okay? And maybe we'll put it back at the table if we need to, okay? The stuffed animals, if they're a distraction. Jesus, maybe you can sit right over here. So Cooper has us looking at the mouth and the eyebrows of these animals that he calls dogs. Take a look at the teeth. He's looking at the teeth and the eyebrows. Can you make that kind of a face? Let me see what that would look like. And he says that look on the face of the dogs tells him that they're angry with the deer. What more can we find? That was great. What more can we find? Yes, ma'am. Can you tell me from right there? And I'll point to it.
So it's like the man has a little like pointy stick, like he's a avenger, like he kills animals and prey.
Okay, great. Remind me of your name.
Celeste.
Celeste. You know, Cooper did talk about this person over here, and I didn't include it. So Celeste is connecting to Cooper and reminding us that we have something going on up here. And this man, you called him an avenger?
Yeah, because it's like he has a very pointy stick and like he's trying to kill the deer.
Okay, so this is a weapon in Celeste's mind. This is a weapon, and this man is going to kill this animal, this deer.
And it's like he's blowing the horn to call the deer.
So he's blowing this horn to call the deer, and then Celeste thinks that he's going to kill the deer with that. Thank you. What more can we find? Yes, sir.
I think the man is actually a woman.
Okay.
And Cooper's dogs, I think they're little sheep.
Okay.
And
I think that the man is a woman is because of the hat.
Okay. So you're asking us to look at this a little differently. I hope you're looking at it differently. Remind me of your name.
Justin.
Say again?
Justin.
Justin, that's right. It's been so long I've forgotten some of your names. Justin would like us to reconsider Cooper's idea. Doesn't mean your idea is wrong. It means that he has a different point of view. Justin is looking at this person up here and thinking it's a woman, and the hat is causing him to think that that might be a woman. And he also would like us to look at these animals differently. And where Cooper thinks that these might be dogs, Justin are thinking these might be sheep. What do you see that changes your mind or makes you think that this is a sheep? What do you see that makes you say that?
Because one of them are black and one of them are kind of whitish.
Okay, so the color is telling you it could be a different kind of animal. Wonderful. What more can we
still
find?
have more.
Well, let's go to other people so they have turns as well.
But just one more thing.
No, we'll come back to you. How about that? Okay, because I want other people to be able to share. Tell me, remind me your name. Salud, that's right. Salud, what more can we find here?
I noticed that there's like a little path.
Is this a path here?
It's like a path. It's like sort of like somebody's walked and like right.
Okay, so Salud is asking us to look down here. She might be thinking about the garden that Cooper talked about, that this is all vegetable garden or all in a garden, and Salud is saying that right in here could be where people have walked, could be where the sheep or the dogs have walked, could be where the deer has walked and it's worn down some of the vegetation. Okay, what more can we find? Let's go. I'm trying to go boy, girl, boy, girl. It's your turn.
Like in the top, there's like water.
Tell me your name again. Max is looking up here and seeing water. Did I point to what you're thinking is water? So what could that be back there? What do you see that makes you say water?
Because it's blue and it's like solar and the ocean.
Okay. All right. So Matt or Max? Matt. Max says this could be the ocean, and that this is the land, and that because it's blue, it's got to be water, and is predicting that it could be the ocean right there. Okay, remind me your name. Emily. What more can we find, Emily?
The water makes it look like that, like all that green stuff is an island with grass on it, and down in the lower right corner, it looks like there's like a tiny little forest that has like a path leading to the animals and the.
So you're agreeing with Salud that this could be a path, but you've called this like a tiny little forest. Okay? And you are also agreeing that this must be the water, and because this is water back here, maybe this whole garden is an island.
Or a shore.
Or a shore from the water. Okay? Okay, good. What more can we find?
I don't agree with Emily or Cooper. I think the water is blue sky, and there's a little bit of like orange white shadings that they thought were islands, and I think the little tiny the bushes are little tiny trees.
Okay, remind me your name.
Cammy.
Cammy is calling these little tiny bushes trees. I don't remember, Cammy, if somebody else called them bushes or not, but I believe this is what you're saying, is that those are trees. And she's thinking that this is sky rather than water. And is sky blue?
Yes.
Sometimes. And so she has a different idea about where we are and what's making up this area. We're going to come back to Cooper, and Cooper's going to give us a final thought. So Cooper, what more can we find?
So now that I actually see the weapon, and that blue actually kind of does look like an ocean, and I think the dogs and the men are stranded there, and they're trying to kill the deer so then the deer doesn't eat all the food.
So once again, we're going to loop back around to Cooper, who believes that this deer is just munching down on all their food, and that these guys are angry and wanting to kill it to stop eating all the
they
food.
didn't grow. They were just there already, but that was already the deer's food, so we did it, but they killed the deer, so then the deer doesn't eat all the food, and then they can get their food, so they just die.
Okay, so Cooper is again reminding us that this food, whether it's vegetables or vegetation or growth of some kind, is important for this man to stay alive and for his dogs to stay alive. So hands down, thank you. You did a great job. We're going to keep recording because I want to talk a little bit about the artist. And I also want to thank you for participating, and mostly I like the way you listen to each other. Because not everybody shared their thoughts, but I know you all have thoughts going on in your brain. And you looked at this picture and you thought about what was going on, but you didn't share them. That's okay. You listened to other people and their ideas. Who's the only person that can know exactly what's going on in this painting? There's only one person who can know. Who do you think?
The artist.
The artist. The artist knows whether these are dogs or sheep. The artist knows whether this is water or sky. But we get the benefit of looking at what this artist did and creating stories in our own mind. We could write the story. Wouldn't this be a great writing project, Mrs. Shelton?
Yeah.
Could be a great writing project, and Celeste is calling that an Avenger up there. And some of you talked a little bit about this being a horn or an island, and they're stranded. Oh, in my mind, I'm thinking about all kinds of little stories. Maybe you can use this image later or put it up at lunchtime.
They're just starting narrative writing.
It would be great for
Yeah.
narrative writing. I'm going to ask you to put your hand down. We're going to talk about the artist some more, because artists use different art elements or different things that help them decide how to make their art. And today we're going to talk about shape and form. And we've talked about shapes before. We looked around the room for squares and rectangles and triangles and circles and examples of shapes. And you did some, I'm thinking we did it in this room, did some cutting out or some drawing of different shapes that we saw. So we've talked about shape before. I don't know that we've talked about form. Today we're going to talk about something called organic shape and organic form. Here's the word. Organic. Organic means that it's kind of free form, and you couldn't label it with a geometry word like square or circle or triangle. It's kind of curved and rounded, and it's called organic when it's got like a free form to it. So take a look at the image, kind of like you're making it up. Take a look at the images here of the animals. I don't care what you call them, whether they're sheep or dogs or deers. And as I look at them, I see organic shapes. I don't really see triangles or squares or rectangles. You might see that, but I'd like you to look for organic shapes and follow my finger as I trace the contour or the outside of this animal, and see how my finger just kind of flows around, even around what I would call an ear. It's kind of a free form or an organic shape. And even the man up here or the woman, this person up here, this shape is kind of organic. The tip of the spear, that one is pretty sharp. That's not very organic. But the horn, that someone called this a horn, that's pretty organic. Even all of these little shapes in here are kind of organic, but mostly we're going to focus on the animals that are in this picture. And this term right here is one I want you to think about. So this time I have pencils for you that I'm going to give you that you get to keep. It says Puyallup School District on it. Woohoo! I have paper. Before you go back to your table, I want you to think about an animal that you have at home, or that you've seen in the zoo, or you've seen on the computer, or that you've seen in artwork recently. or that you've seen at the fair, or you will at the spring fair coming up. And all the animals that I can think of are pretty organic in their shapes and in their forms. And you're going to start with the pencil and just drawing some organic shapes that could be animals. What questions do you have about what you're going to draw, Cooper?
Like, do you just draw shapes, like weird shapes, or do you just draw, like,
I'm hoping that it will look like an animal eventually. So you might need to add eyes or ears or hoofs or some fur or teeth. But to begin with, you can draw the outside or the contour in an organic shape. Yeah. Okay, Justin.
Are you going to name our shape?
Yeah, that'd be fine with me. You could write it on your artwork if you'd like. Celeste.
Like, can we trace it in black?
You can. Start with pencil so that it's exactly the kind of organic shape that you want. When you've got it looking just the way you want, you can trace it in black and you can put a face on it. Absolutely. Yes.
Can we do mythical animals?
Yes. They could be pretend. What kind of mythical animal are you thinking? A unicorn.
I can copy off of
Tell me, is the horn on a unicorn an organic shape? Probably not, but you can still include it just like we included, the artist included the spear. Okay, if you're sitting on a green square, go ahead and head back to your table, and I'm going to get your pencils. If you're sitting on a red square, we can do the same thing.
Wait, which square am I doing on?
And would you help me by handing out those pencils? Just give everybody one of them. And if you're on a purple square, head back. Yes. Sure, well let's find out where Mrs. Shelton would she like to do. She may need to use them for a grade. The pencils are yours to keep.
We could maybe save them and make a narrative writing about them.
Oh, the narrative writing could have an illustration. Your teacher has so many great ideas.
Yeah.
If you're sitting, I'm trying to get you a pencil and a piece of paper. Would you do me a favor and put that chair down?
I got one. And two.
And we don't need to record this anymore.
Oh, okay.
I might